Welcome to another episode of Skull Talk Live. We're going to talk about night one of Summerslam. So many great matches that took place on night one of SummerSlam. And we saw some debuts for the first time in SummerSlam. So let's go over some of these matches that took place on night one of SummerSlam. And who won and what else may happen during those matches that were key points. So we're going to start off with match number one that took place, which was a single opening match for a tag team. We have Roman Reigns and Jey Uso taking on Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. What I find interesting about this match, we all pretty much know Roman Reigns is always defending a title or headlining the main event. But this wasn't the case this time. I'll guarantee you, it was a really good match. I was surprised to see Roman and Jey cohere as a team, because we've seen in the past how much they didn't really like each other because of the whole bloodline thing. But now we saw them as a team teaming up very, very well. And even Roman Reigns taking a spear with Jey to set up the pinfall after hitting a Uso splash and picking up the victory for the team. And looking at Paul Heyman's face in disgust because his two big guys that he decided he's going to manage end up losing the match at the biggest party of the year, which is SummerSlam. So now let's go to match number two. With a tag team match. And it is coming out of the women's division. For the women's tag title, we have Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss taking on the ladies of the Judgment Day, Raquel Perez and Roxanne. That match was pretty interesting. That we end up seeing the title change hands. And Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss once again holding tag team gold. Now, what's going to transpire on Monday Night Raw when it comes to the Judgment Day? Are they going to catch in a rematch clause? Who knows? But it's really nice to see Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss hold tag team championship again. Now we're going to go to match number 3, which is a regular single match. With the stipulation, if Sami Zayn had lost, he would have to tell Karen Cross he was right. If Cross had lost, he would have said, Sami Zayn, you've been right all along. Now, this match was epic because every time when we thought Sami Zayn was down and out, he was able to bounce back. Then it got to the point Scarlett started to toss in the pipe to Cross. That Cross ended up missing, hitting Sami with the pipe. The hope where Sami Zayn ended up able to get the upper hand. Till it got to a point where Scarlett decided, okay, let's see Sami Zayn true color. I'm going to hand the pipe to Sami. Now the fans were thinking, okay, with all the stuff that's been going on for the last several weeks, is Sami going to use the pipe on Cross? Well, I thought he would do that because he's been frustrated. Keep hearing Cross this, that, and that, and he'll be fed up by now. But that wasn't the case. Sami Zayn took that pipe, looked at it, and said, screw this, and throws it back out the ring. Nearly hitting Scarlett in the process. And when Sami Zayn was able to hit the exploder and his finisher to pick up the win by using the lunatic kick. Yeah, Sami Zayn, he does have heart. But what I really like to see out of Sami is more of that intensity that he had when he was in a rivalry with Kevin Owens. I want to see that more of the fire coming out of Sami. But is the story really over between Cross and Sami? We will know sooner or later. Now let's go on to match number 4. Was a single match for the women's title. Jade Cargill taking on Tiffany Stratton. And remember, For Jake Harwell to get this match, she had to win the King of the Ring tournament, which she did, which will guarantee a title opportunity at SummerSlam. Again, the champion of her representing brand, which should be Raw or SmackDown. And Jake Harwell became the Queen of the Ring. Now, this match, and you remember, Jake Harwell had an injury a couple months ago, where she was put through a car windshield by a person who she thought was her friend. That it started a bittersweet rivalry between Naomi and Bianca Belair, the EST. And during that time, we saw Naomi go through changes, where she now goes by Prestige by Caution Naomi. We saw Jake Harwell really came back more of a pissed off woman than she was. Well, Bianca Belair, she became more of a investigator. Why did Naomi do what she did? Was it out of jealousy? Out of frustration? Out of betrayal? But we really didn't get that quite answer. Naomi, she did admit that she did attack Jake Harwell and put Jake Harwell on the show for several months. And I think that's why Jake Harwell had all that anger built up inside to end up winning the Queen of the Ring, to earn that title shot against Tiffany Stratton. But when it came to the match between Jake Harwell and Tiffany, I really wasn't that impressed with the match. Even though Tiffany Stratton retained her championship against Jake Harwell, some may stipulate that Jake Harwell wasn't ready to become champion quite yet. Remember, she only had a few matches since joining WWE after she had left AEW. I will give it to Jake Harwell. You do have good wrestling skills, but I don't really see them championship worthy on the WWE brand. That's my opinion. Just don't hit me with a storm. Now we're going to go to match. Let's go to the match number 5. 1 second. Gotta look at my note. Oh, match number 5 was very, very interesting. Because we had a team of Jelly Roll and the Legend Killer, Randy Orton, taking on Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. Celebrity versus celebrity, wrestler versus wrestler. All you can name in this match. And just remember, Jelly Roll never wrestled before. We saw what happened on Jimmy Kimmel, him putting Logan Paul through the table. Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre get into a scuffle fight on the Jimmy Kimmel Live. But Jelly Roll wanted to prove a point. If he set his mind to a darn goal, he can compete one day in a WWE ring, which I take my head off to Jelly Roll for losing so much weight that the morning of SummerSlam, he weighed under 300 pounds. What his mind was set to do. See, with people with a lot of health and weight issues, if you set your mind to a certain goal, you can accomplish big things in the future. Like Joey Rowe, he became more of a healthier man. He wants to be on Men's Health magazine. He wanted a match at SummerSlam, which he got. But the most important thing is feeling good inside. Now, on the other hand, Logan Paul, yes, he's a big YouTube star slash boxer that turned pro wrestler. He didn't like the fact that a multi-platinum album artist is coming to SummerSlam, stepping into his ring and trying to steal his spotlight. That he had to team up with Drew McIntyre, who did not like Randy Orton one bit. Which I find really, really, really interesting. Now, before this match could even take place, Joey Rowe had to go to the Performance Center in Florida to learn how to run the rope, how to take bumps, how to hit certain moves before SummerSlam took place. Which he put in the hard work so she can make this match look good. Some may ask, Joey Rowe out of his freaking mind to do this? He waited so much. He get tired easily because of the weight holding him down. Joey Rose said, I want this. It's been in my childhood dream to wrestle one day in WWE. I just don't want to be a guest host anymore. I want to be able to say, hey, I have a match under my belt, win or lose. It'll still be in the record book. And Joey Rose, when it came to the match, yes, Joey Rose pretty much was kind of like a fish out of water. Don't really know what to do because he was in that moment. And Joey Rose did do some impressive things in that match. I'll give him credit to that. That we think most rookies won't do. And they knew Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul had a game plan. Keep the weakest link away from the main experienced guy, who happened to be Randy Orton. Sorry, Joey Rose, yes, you were kind of like the weakest link of that team because this is your first wrestling match ever. But you did impress me after taking one hell of a bump on the announcer table when Logan Paul hits you with a brawl flash, taking you to the floor, through the table, that everybody thought you were out. May have some internal bruising coming in, a scratched rib or even a broken one. And yes, that is a big, hard bump. Don't get me wrong on that. So the referee had a call for the medic, the personal trainers, to check on Joey Rose. Then we had Drew McIntyre throwing Randy Orton and back into the ring, where Drew and Logan end up double teaming Randy because they knew, okay, we got the weakest link out of the ring. No, not Joey Rose. They said, okay, we don't have to worry about Joey Rose. Let's start double teaming on Randy to bring him down to our level. What they did. But then Joey Rose was getting carried out towards the medical room. Joey Rose said, I can't let my man and my friend down like that. I even knew the medical staff knew something was up. And what did Joey Rose do? Like the true friend that he is, he went back into that ring and finished off that match. Because he did not want to be an embarrassment. He didn't want to have to take the RKO heat from his friend Randy Orton. He wanted to show the world what he'd been training for the past month or so. That he ended up hitting a Blackpool slam in the match. After he went through a table, he ended up taking a Claymore. Randy Orton ended up hitting an RKO. Oh, yeah. And besides that, we all know about Logan Paul's right hook. Joey Rose took one of those as well. But Joey Rose stayed in the fight. What most people won't do. But the thing is, Joey Rose has so much heart that he couldn't just walk away and see his friend get his ass handed to him. And that's when Joey Rose really saw enough. He said, fuck medical advice. I'm getting back into this match. One way or another. Yeah. We didn't see the win we wanted to see that night. Randy Orton and Joey Rose picking up the victory. But the victory had to go to Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. Yes, we're going to hear it on Raw or SmackDown, whatever, which brand. That Logan Paul is going to say, hey, I'm a Drink of Prime. I beat a multi-platinum artist known as Joey Rose. We're going to hear that for weeks now. And we know that. Now, let's get to the main event of night one of Summerslam. CM Punk taking on the ring General Gunter. That match was epic. What a main event to end off night one of SummerSlam 2025. CM Punk took so many chops throughout that match that you can literally hear, excuse me, that you can hear the popping sound when Gunter made contact. I literally thought CM Punk's gonna have a collapsed lung from all that pressure, smack after smack. He at least had to take about 20 plus chops. Brutal shot, I may say, throughout that whole entire match. CM Punk waited so long for that championship opportunity. And he said, not for 1 second, I ain't going to let this slip away. I worked too hard, climbed so high up that ladder to get this opportunity. And when everybody thought CM Punk was out, done for the count. He reached way down to pull up that last bit of energy to hit. Gunter was the second GTS in the match and end up picking up the victory to become the new world champion. Which a lot of people hasn't been able to beat Gunter. The last time we saw Gunter lose that championship was when he faced main event Jey Uso. That's the last time we saw him. Then he ended up winning it back. And since he won it back, he's been on a tear till he ran into CM Punk last night at Summerslam in New Jersey at MetLife Stadium. But CM Punk was not even able to celebrate his victory, not even just for 5 minutes, until we saw the returning Monday Night Messiah, the visionary, the Paul Heyman guy, Seth freaking Rollins. Coming like he's still injured on walking supporter crutches, saying, hey, CM Punk, I still got the money in the bank. Fruitcake. I want that money in the bank. And when CM Punk thought, okay, now I see my next opponent, as Seth was playing mind game, what did he do? Said, I'm back, and cash in the money in the bank bouquet. After CM Punk went through hell with Gunter, that Seth Rollins had to hit him with the bouquet to get CM Punk down to the level that he wanted to get him down to set up the curse thump. And hit the pinfall that Seth Rollins sold the celebration from CM Punk and becomes the new heavyweight champion. And yes, that's wrong. Instead, for months, since winning that money in the bank, that CM Punk was never going to be world champion. As long as I'm here. Well, Seth Rollins, you did kind of fail your promise. Because CM Punk did win the world championship from Gunter. But he may have not only hold it for 5 minutes to use it to come in and catch in. In my book, in my own 2 eyes, CM Punk beat you on that promise. The million around the world saw it. People in the 60,000+ people in the MetLife Stadium saw it. Even Gunter saw it. Now, with this being said, are we going to see a triple threat for that championship in the near future? Hey, it may take place in Peru. That's coming up. Will we see Gunter versus CM Punk versus Seth freaking Rollins in a triple threat match at the net pay-per-view? Who knows? So leave a comment if you think that match should take place. And make sure you guys give me a thumbs up, a like, leave a comment, because I see a lot of my fans watching my talk show. But don't leave this thumbs up, don't give it a like, just view it. Yeah, I don't mind the view, but I want to know what my fans are thinking when it comes to stuff like this. And I also want to apologize to my fans that I had to keep pushing the date for this episode a little bit back. Some may know, some may not know. I've been doing a lot of traveling involving wrestling shows, training, getting ready for the Cauliflower Alley Club that is taking place next week in Las Vegas, where I'll be doing a meet and greet, meeting the legends, such as Mick Foley, War Hawaiians, Ruby Rad from Woman of Wrestling, and many other great are going to be there as well. 4-day event, one free wrestling show. That's Saturday. You guys can get all this information, your ticket at caulifloweralleyclub.com. Get your tickets now. Come and meet some great legend. Meet future stars. And even come and meet me and order some merch. Because I got some new merch that'll be coming out, especially for the cauliflower. So make sure you guys come out. It starts the 17th and it ends the 20th. in Las Vegas. 4 days of excitement. So make sure you guys come out and check it out. And we're nearly coming to the end of this season, which will be taking place this Monday. We'll talk about night 2 of Summerslam that is taking place today at 12 o'clock on Peacock. $2 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you guys tune into SummerSlam Night 2. 6 exciting matches. We even got a steel cage match that is going to be taking place today. We have championship, more debuts for the first time at SummerSlam. And make sure you guys tune in this Monday for the season final of Skull Talk Live. So make sure you guys check that out. And coming soon, the season premiere of The Boneyard. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for that as well. So thank you for everyone who tuned in today. Tell me your guys' favorite moment in the comments below. What was your favorite match from night 1 of SummerSlam? And I'll see you guys on the next episode of Skull Talk Live. And I hope everyone had a great day. See you on the next episode.